This is a protective cover frame that Jim put together for his HVAC unit, and it's a really good idea if you live in an area that gets a lot of snow. It looks like that's where he is, and he wanted to add a temporary kind of cover that he could add to the HVAC unit if there's going to be a lot of snow coming in, just to kind of keep it from piling up on top. And essentially, this is made with 3/4 inch EMT conduit and some maker pipe connectors. So if you're unfamiliar with those two things, EMT conduit is something you get off the shelf locally at places like Lowe's, Home Depot, different places like that. It's in the electrical aisle. And then the pieces of conduit are connected together with steel fittings that we manufacture in upstate South Carolina. And you can build all kinds of things, as we can see on our website or all over the YouTube channel. And we also to make it easier to plan your builds and to kind of get an idea for your project, we also have these 3D printed miniature connectors that kind of replicate how the full-size connectors are going to go together. And you use those with coffee stirrers and you can plan out your build. So I'm going to use the iPad and these miniatures to kind of show you how to recreate this frame if you want to. It's really cool, and there's something specific I want to highlight first, which is this cool technique I've never seen really done before, at least not in a maker pipe build that a customer has shared. We can see down here he's got some square tubing or some sort of square metal material down here that's on the ground. I don't know if this is bolted to the ground. It looks like I kind of see the head of a bolt there. Maybe this is bolted to the ground. I don't know if it was already in place or if he added these, but basically he's got this square tubing and he drilled a hole so that he could thread the off-the-shelf set screw connectors that are made for junction boxes. He threaded those directly into that square tubing to give him a solid foundation for mounting this frame, which I thought was super smart and not something we've really seen before, but makes a ton of sense because you could just back out those set screws and then completely take this frame off if you want. So during the summer, if you want to take this out, you can. You just have those base plates mounted to the ground and you can leave those in place, but then take apart this whole frame and move it out of the way, which I thought was a really smart addition to this project. So that's really cool. And then basically from there, he's got verticals that go up and are bent, and we can see here those go up, and then he's got a 90-degree bend, and then on the other side, and just basically a U-bend, another 90 degrees that go down to the other side, which is kind of a hard bend to achieve, but it looks like he did a really great job. And if you don't know, you just use a handheld off-the-shelf pipe and tube bender, and we have a video tutorial on how to use that I'll link down below. But essentially, that's what he's done to mount to that base plate thing that he created. It goes all the way up and then down the other side. And that's really the kind of the beginning of the frame, which is what I've got here. I'll take this apart here. I even bent the frame here, the verticals, using some metal wire inside of the coffee stirrers. That's a hack if you didn't know. If you're planning your build, you can add that, and then you can kind of bend it and make frames. So that's really cool if you want to incorporate bends and need to plan that out. But essentially, that's what he's got. He's got 2 of those. And then we'll go back to the picture here, and we can see that he's using maker pipe T connectors, which is the most versatile connector and definitely the most popular. And he's just grabbing onto those bent vertical pieces that are going up and over. And those are being used to attach the crossbars there in between those 2 sides. And pretty simple, just those 4 T connectors to do that, which is exactly what I've got here, set up with these 2 pieces of conduit going across between them, and then just the T connectors holding them in place. Super simple build. The most complex part is going to be adding the bends and then, of course, making those base plates. But in terms of the maker pipe and how many connectors and everything, it's pretty simple in that regard, and a pretty simple cover. Then you can add, we can go back to the picture here and see he's got a pretty wide area up here that he could add a sunshade if you wanted to kind of drape it over the top if it starts here. And then it kind of fills in up there and then goes down the other side, even on the front if you wanted to kind of protect this. Obviously, you still need it to be able to vent and everything like that, so you kind of have to be careful and make sure you're following that standard. But if you got a lot of snow coming in or bad weather just in general, seems like a really good idea to protect it and keep the life of the unit as long as possible. So that's really cool. Nice and simple build with some cool techniques in this. So thanks so much, Jim, for sharing it. If you like this video, leave a like and consider subscribing. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.